Today's lesson is on point of view. Point of view is the perspective from which a story is told. We will be looking at first and third person point of view. First person point of view is when the narrator participates in the story and tells what he or she sees, knows, thinks, or feels. You will know a story is written in first person if you see I or we being used to refer to the narrator. Third person point of view is when the narrator is not a character in the story, but is stating what is observed from the outside looking in. You will not get the thoughts or feelings of the characters in the story. You will only get what the narrator saw and heard. If the pronouns he, she, or it are being used for the characters in the story, it is third person. If you have not yet read Charles by Shirley Jackson, please stop this video and read the story now. We will be looking at first-person point of view in the story Charles. The narrator of the story is Laurie's mother. We are told everything Laurie's mother sees, knows, thinks, or feels. So in what ways does first-person point of view increase your curiosity about the boy Charles? We will use a graphic organizer to explore that question. Again, if you have not yet read the story Charles, you need to do that first. There is a surprise ending, and you need to understand the story to analyze point of view. So what does Laurie's mom know? Laurie's mom knows that Charles misbehaves in school. And she knows that Charles is a boy in Laurie's class. However, Laurie's mom asked a few questions during the story that she wants to know. She wants to know if Charles will be a bad influence on Laurie. And if you know how the story ends, you should be laughing at that idea. She also wants to know what Charles' mother is like. If Charles is a difficult child, what might the mother be like? Now, you are probably asking yourself a few questions as you read the story, which is what good readers do. You need to remember that school years ago is not like school today. So you might have asked yourself, why doesn't the teacher discipline him more strongly? And why is Laurie so fascinated by Charles? Again, if you read the story and you know how the story ends, you know why Laurie was so fascinated by Charles and why he came home and told his parents every defiant action. The narrator's point of view determines what and how much you learn about the story's characters, events, and places. So how would the story Charles be different if it were told from another character's point of view? What would Laurie say? What inner thoughts would you hear from Laurie? That is key. What about the kindergarten teacher? Did she know that Laurie went home and told his parents about Charles? And how about Laurie's father? What behaviors did Laurie's father witness in Laurie that were similar to Charles? Each of these characters, as a narrator, would change the story completely. If Laurie were the narrator, would there still be a surprise ending? What about the other characters? You will now complete a point of view activity. It's a PDF file called Charles POV. It looks like this. You need to describe the role of each character in the story. How would the understanding of the misbehavior be different for each of these characters? What would the reader learn or not learn from these characters? Each of these characters will see, know, think, and feel differently. Open the activity and begin.